Greetings all, and welcome back to another interview with the bands for Metal for Africa. Today we are joined from, oh my gosh, was it Johanan?
Yes, Johan.
Johanan. I'm going to call you Joe from now on.
Yeah,
from
that's perfect.
Prodical. How are you today? Are you comfy? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm comfy, I must say. Yeah, this past week has been pretty cold, but I'm sitting here in a sun patch, so I'm very comfortable. Very keen.
Are you excited for Metal for Africa?
Yes, definitely. That's, I can say, with all assurance, for all of the bands, it's probably the biggest gig, event, festival that we've yet to perform at. So looking super forward to it. We'll probably get to that, but a few changes in the band. So even from the previous experiences that we had performing, the setup is going to look a little bit different this time round. So we're very excited to introduce the kind of, the last Instagram post I made was Prodical 2.0, if you will. Just very excited, looking forward to checking out the other bands, just the overall vibe. It's going to be my first attendance to a metal festival. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the previous one. That was, I think, end of last year. Just to experience that, to check out the other bands, some big names. Really looking forward to just experience the whole, the full experience.
Yeah. Prodical is quite a fairly new band. You're standing with quite a few big boys this year.
Yes.
You guys started last year and you're already making fantastic music. How would you describe your music?
Okay, that's an interesting one. I was made aware not to necessarily try and name drop other bands that you compare yourself to, because then you don't want to compare yourself to those professional names, say just yet. But definitely aspiring to make it international. I think that's every band's dream. But I'd say the overall what genre, if you will, is progressive metal. So it's a fusion of the more heavy riffs combined with more melodic ambient parts in them as well. We try to take you on a journey in one song, so it's a whole experience. Some of the songs that we're going to release. So there's already one song that we submitted that's going to be released real soon, and then another short EP coming straight after that, so that we have a few songs also just to show to the viewers and to create a hype for the event. So that's all going to be dropped before the actual event. Then you obviously get to see for yourself. But I'd say, it's trying to... we started out as an instrumental band, but with a new introduction of myself on vocals, and we got a insane new drummer. So that's also now incorporating more. I'd say, if you take it just the instrumental, then it used to be a bit more ambient and kind of open to interpretation. But with the incorporation of vocals, we kind of set a more defined picture. And obviously the vocals, the lyrics helps tell the story even further.
Yeah, we'll get into every member's in a second.
Yes.
But quickly, how did everyone meet? How did the band start? And
Okay, so it's a long time coming. I used to play drums and my brother on guitar. So Luca is my brother, for those of you that don't know. I started playing drums in grade 8, and then I had to wait a few years before he picked up the guitar, and then have to wait another few years before the introduction of metal, because he started out very, very light, more pop blues type vibe. But I was also always into metal, all types of genres. So I was also always jamming in the background, and then I think he started getting into that and getting excited for it. And then we started jamming together, and we obviously wanted to kind of get a band together. So we got Mika, who is the same age as my brother. They were in school together, and they had a kind of like a school band, and it used to be reverse. My brother started out on bass, and Mika played guitar for a while, and then they swapped around a little bit later. And we actually had another guy just jamming with us for a while, but he was also more into rock and more lighter types of music. So we wanted to go a little more heavy, so kind of dropped him and just played the three of us for a while. And then I started jamming with Ters on the side, and we played progressive rock, a bunch of cool stuff and odd timings and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, well, it just makes sense incorporating him in our Prodical project. And then the four of us jammed for quite a while. Then we participated in the Battle of the Bands last year, and then after that whole experience, and we did a few instrumental gigs. So that was all just instrumental up until then. We actually experimented, kind of tried to incorporate a few different vocalists also, but none of them, I mean, they're all great musicians, but didn't quite fit the bill what we were trying to go for. And then I kind of just recorded some demos on the side just to kind of give them a better idea of what we envisioned with the vocals. And then everyone in the band kind of just suggested, okay, why don't we just give it a shot? Let me go for the vocals. It's much easier to get a new drummer that can learn the parts and kind of bring his flavor to the table than trying to get that vocalist, because that's obviously a much more, that kind of creates the image of the band, if you will. So that's pretty much it. And then now, so we've been jamming for the past year, just getting everyone up to scratch. Obviously I had to step up quite a bit now, learning all of those new techniques and trying to incorporate the stuff that I already know, because I've always enjoyed singing, but now obviously it's a completely different ball game in the metal scene. But it's a bunch of fun, very stimulating and exciting. So yes.
Yeah, that is most of my notes for your entire section. And let me break that down a little bit. So your brother Luca is now is now the lead guitarist for the band.
Yeah. So,
and what do they bring to the band apart from being your brother and their guitar? What do they bring to the band?
Yeah, so just to put everything in perspective, I'd say my brother is kind of like the mastermind in terms of the music. So he pretty much writes most of the demos. He records everything, just programs the drums and records just kind of rough ideas for the tracks. And then he sends it on the group, and then we all interpret that in our own way, and then we all kind of put our own spin on that. And once we get together, we start jamming the songs and everything. So I'd say, he initiates most of the band songs, which also makes it easy. I feel you kind of need, I found I've played with a few bands, you kind of need someone that just takes lead in that regard. Otherwise, it's just, it's fun, but it's just kind of jamming, and you never push it into a direction. I'd say, and also kind of tech savvy with the pedals. So he's the one that's the most experienced in that regard. So it also helps kind of just getting the right sounds and everything as well. So and then so he plays the lead guitar, but it's also not defined. Sometimes he plays the rhythm, sometimes he plays the lead. Like it alternates between the two guitarists. Yes.
So now a very important question. What is something your brother would buy at a store that would make the cashier give them a weird look?
Sure. It's actually an interesting question, because my brother's very conservative with money. So it will most probably be something very... I want to say when he actually does spend some money, it's like really... He'll rather invest and kind of pull out a big amount of money. So probably something that's, I don't know, just like a weird pedal that's actually way too overpriced, but just because he decided, okay, it's now the one time that he's actually going to buy something.
That is fair.
Yes.
Yeah. And then on bass, we have Mika. You said he did play some guitar, and then, but at the moment he's on the bass.
Yeah.
Similar question. What do they bring to the band apart from their bass?
So Mika's a very interesting personality. He's probably the most stereotypical musician of us all. So he just like flutters into a band rehearsal, then like, it's not rude, but it's just the way he is. Like barely even greets anyone, just jams, and then as soon as we're done, he leaves. It's not like even a goodbye or like a quick hangout afterwards. So like very all over the place, but still a very solid musician. Like without those bass riffs, and which is also cool. I mean, I've also played again with a few bands, and not to bash anyone, some people just prefer just playing on the root note. But I mean, he's also a very expressionate musician. So a bunch of cool licks and stuff that you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I can't even conceptualize all of the stuff that he does. But as soon as you hear it, it's like you can't unhear it. It's just it just works.
Nice. And say the zombie apocalypse all of a sudden began. After the first month, where would you find Mika?
That's a very good question. Probably still in his flat. He stays in Woodstock at the moment, unbothered, never minded, just doing his laundry or something, just playing, just going about his daily business. I mean, I think, he'll probably blend in. Zombies won't even notice.
That's awesome. And then you call him Turt. Your second guitar, rhythm guitar, some you say they swap around, but his full name is Tertius.
Tertius. That's Afrikaans name. Yeah, and then we just call him Ters.
Okay.
It's also more the Afrikaans pronunciation, just for short. Yes.
So same question. What do they bring to the band apart from their guitar?
Yes. So he is much more the outgoing, social, very loud guy of the group. So always, the clown. He always has something to say. Just cracks a joke, or just he's also all of his gear, I want to say, constantly breaks down. It's not that he probably doesn't look after it, but I don't know how it works. It's just bad luck or something. So he's constantly at the rehearsal. His pedal doesn't want to work, and he's just there stomping with his foot endlessly and just making a scene. So I mean, the rest of us, we've come to love that by now. But initially it was like, come on, guy, just get your shit together. But I mean, it's a bunch of fun.
I love that. If he got thrown into an insane asylum, what do you think the reason would be?
I don't know if this is offensive, but his jokes sometimes it breaks some boundaries. So I think someone will most probably just take that as like, okay, that's too much now.
Yeah, gone too far.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know, but he'll still probably, I don't know if he'll fit right in, or he'll probably freak out in a insane asylum. Like, he has the weirdest phobies, so that's probably something as well. Like, he can't stand balloons. It's weird stuff. He always super clean, like, play a song, then he has to go and wash his hands, then he comes back, plays the next song. I mean, there's a few things that can get him there.
Oh, that's fair enough. And last but not least, the beating heart of the band. You have your current drummer is Johan.
Yes.
You were saying he's the latest addition.
Yes.
Now, what have they brought? They joined after your Battle of the Bands, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So how did he join you guys?
Okay, so just another bit of background. So it's actually only Ters that wasn't in the same high school as the rest of the band. But I mean, back then we didn't think it will end up like this, or kind of have the picture that we have now. But every year in athletics, like the big inter-schools, then we used to have like the pavilion and the cheerleaders and then a drummer. And then Johan was actually the drummer in his matric year. And I mean, from that time, I used to look up to him, because it was like, I mean, it's like basic beats, just to kind of accompany a big singing crowd. But then already you could see that if there's like a drum solo, or even just the technicality of his playing and the discipline. I mean, I look from that time, I used to look up to him and just kind of aspire to have his level of playing. We just reached out to him actually before the Battle of the Bands already, just invited him to a gig, because we actually considered getting him on guitar, because he's pretty much a jack of all trades. He is a very good sound engineer. He does all of the mixes for our EP that we're releasing, and the single and everything. So very experienced in that regard. He plays insane guitar. I mean, if you just check out his Instagram, like I said, we actually considered incorporating him on a third guitar, kind of just to have some more dynamic range to the whole picture. But then, he's an insane drummer as well. So then we reached out, asked him if he wanted to be part of the project, sent him some few demos, and he sent some recordings back, and we were just blown away. So we were super keen that he's amped for the project, and started jamming together basically in just after the Battle of the Band. We just wanted to get that out of the way, and then we started jamming together. Like I said, just took a few rehearsals just to kind of gel together, because obviously now we've been used to something for such a long time. Now incorporates a new personality in the mix. But yeah, we clicked instantly. So yeah, it's just been a bunch of fun. And like I said, the other, even with the synths and stuff, just the whole production element that he brings to our songs, because we've also been used to just playing, just the raw instruments for a while. But now with the whole recording process, with the backtracks and synths and stuff like that, that you can add some extra layers on top of that. That's also been a whole journey.
Awesome. Now, the most judgiest of questions. Is he a dog or cat person?
Sure. I'd say, maybe a cat. Just as he's also very chill, that typical drummer personality. Not to stereotype, but probably the most quiet and reserved. He'll just say something and it's like super impactful, but he'll not, if everyone else is talking, he'll just sit back and listen. So I feel like a cat is also, minding his own business. A dog is much more, looking for attention and wants to be engaged.
Okay.
So and he'll probably just chill there on his lap or on his desk while he's mixing, while he's recording there in his room. So it fits the profile.
Oh, very nice. So you've mentioned the Battle of the Bands a few times now. We're going to get into it now.
Yes.
Last year you had your first Battle of the Bands at On Class, and this was your first ever entering Battle of the Bands, and you won.
Yes.
What do you think you did that allowed you to win over the competition? Like, what made you stand out?
Okay, so I think that it did definitely count towards our, in our favor or to our advantage, the fact that we were instrumental band competing. And obviously, because it's an instrumental band, you can focus a lot more on the individual parts, and it needs to be super tight because it's not something to kind of hide behind. So we focused a lot on that technical component, relatable riffs, if I can call it that way. You don't want something that just goes over the audience's head. So, I mean, if you think about the crowd that you're playing towards, you kind of need something that you can headbang to, but it's still technical and it's still impressive, and it's still, stimulating for us as musicians. I think from the first, we didn't know how the crowd would take it up, to be honest. I mean, we were used to kind of just jamming. We had a few small gigs, but it's basically then just us and then another band, but it's just also our friends. So all of the crowds that we've had so far is just people that we know and that I feel is, usually a little bit biased. It's like, it was a great show, but you never know their real opinion. I feel if it's someone that's completely outside perspective, then you can immediately get a much better idea of how they receive the music, and they loved it. I mean, and that was so encouraging for us as well, and you could feed off of that. And so the first time we played, it was still I think the music spoke for itself, but our performance wasn't necessarily all there yet, and which is also great about the whole experience of the Battle of the Bands. It's a few rounds and you get constant feedback. So after every round you get the scoring, there's a bunch of judges, and then you can learn from that. It's just a wholesome experience. And basically they just made us aware we need to engage a bit more with the crowd. And so from the second time round we tried to incorporate that, and that whole experience, I'd say, just kind of sparked it even more. We also said in an interview afterwards, it was really an electrifying experience. It's like you can see the people enjoy and engage with the music, and it's like a freaking mosh pit there. And then the next band is soft pop or something again. It's like the whole dynamic and the whole just the flow of the evening. It was insane. But maybe just to get back to the question, what eventually allowed us to win. It might have been our technical component. Like I said, the fact that we really tried to nail every part. It was a very defined part. It's not just, okay, we're going on stage and we're jamming, which really everyone has a specific part to play. Obviously, still with room for a bit of improv, or, if you're led to do something a little bit different on the evening. And then, maybe just the judges themselves, I think they also enjoy the more heavier styles of music, and the fact that we managed to pull it off instrumental, I think that was the final nail in the coffin, to kind of secure the deal. And I think the last round, Set for the Sky. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They also,
Yes.
so they were also like a guest judge because I think they won a few years back. And they also, gave us a bunch of, constructive feedback, and it was awesome just seeing someone that, I mean, I'm not aware of all of the shows that they've done, but I know they're also quite a big name, and then just also them encouraging us again. It was, really awesome experience all around.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Sounds like you won the crowd over and the judges in both regards. So that's just beautiful. You are releasing an EP soon.
Yes.
Just for the viewers at home, we are doing this interview before it releases, but if you are watching this, you can get it now.
Yes.
Where will people be able to get it?
So it's on all streaming platforms. If you just search our name, it's in all caps because unfortunately some other people have claimed the name Prodical. It's mostly like rappers and stuff like that. But we try to dust out all of the competition. But anyway, it's in all caps. And then you'll see, so we've released the single already, State of Nature. But we'll also definitely share it on all of our social platforms. But it's available, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, you name it. Yes.
Do you have any physical copies that you'll be selling?
That's a good question. At this stage, I think just we don't have a dedicated salesperson. So, I think we made the general vote not to have merch this year. I'm also, if we had a little more time, I would have loved, just to get your name out there a little bit more. But at this stage, it's only digital. I feel that is the future, but I'm also myself a bit more of an old school guy. I like the hard copy.
Yeah,
something that you can still put in your car radio. Yeah, it's nostalgic.
Yeah, I know quite a few bands. Like, I asked the question, they're like, no, it's digital now. I'm like, but I want a CD. And what is the name of the EP? So people can search it.
Yes, so that is actually yet to be decided. So all of the songs are recorded already. But at that stage, the single is out already. And then obviously from there, you'll be able to just track our profile and then you'll get the EP.
I'll pop a link in the description so that people can find it easier. So now, Metal for Africa is happening 29th of July.
Yes.
And all the details are put down for the viewers below. You can buy your tickets, etc. Apart from playing at Metal for Africa, you said this was your first time coming to...
Yes.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw now it's like just it's a massive event. I mean, I don't know what to expect, but I kind of have a rough idea, but I'm still looking forward to it tremendously. So first of all, obviously the other bands. So we'll be there from the first show. We're playing second. Definitely going to support the rest of the boys and just, like I said, see some other big names in the industry and or learn from them. Just kind of, be there in the marsh. I'm going to bring a bunch of friends as well, so just to experience that with them, the other shows, and then obviously they're going to watch us as well. The stores, I'm looking to pick up a few pieces of merch myself, so going to save up, so that I can support the other guys and, spread the word out there. And then even like the food stores and everything, so it's going to be a whole vibe. So, it's just something to look forward to.
Yeah, and before we end off, anything you want to tell our viewers?
So it's probably a bunch of you guys first time introduction to us. So I invite you to come and check us out. You're in for a ride. It's going to be something different. It's because it's progressive metal. We have that melodic element as well. Some soaring solos and even with the vocals as well. Trying to bring in some a melodic range as well. So if you're into that kind of stuff, progressive metal, something to come and check out. And then just thanks for all of the support. Check out the songs that we already released. Give us some feedback. Follow us on Instagram. So we know you're out there. And then we can work with your feedback, and we'd love to hear from you. Awesome, and thanks for all of the support. And for the experience, the opportunity to meet with you today. It was lovely.
Thank you, Joe, for joining me. Everyone, come check out Prodical at Metal for Africa 29th this in July. I'll be seeing you all at Metal Africa. Cheers.
Sick.